WCBI News at 10 starts now.
A woman is recovering tonight in an area hospital after deputies say she was shot in the head, and a suspect now behind bars. Thanks for joining us tonight. The shooting happened around 5 o'clock this evening at a home in Chickasaw County. Chickasaw County Sheriff Jim Meyer says that it happened at a home on County Road 52. The victim was able to get away and drove to another home for help. From there, Sheriff Meyer says she was taken to North Mississippi Medical Center in Tupelo. Deputies say they recovered a weapon from the scene. That incident is still under investigation. An 80-year-old Amory pastor is injured after his truck is hit by a train in Monroe County this afternoon. Take a look at the scary scene here. The crash happened on Old Highway 45 just south of Aberdeen. The driver of the truck has been identified as Willis Dobbs. Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says it appears the driver went down the wrong road when he got stuck on the tracks. The driver was getting out of the truck as the train collided with it. Sheriff Cantrell says the truck then rolled over the man. A nearby neighbor ran to the scene after they saw the truck drive by, then heard the train. He says it's a miracle the man survived.
God was with him. You know, it wasn't anything more we could do. I mean, if it was, we would have been able to get him out. That was the good Lord with that man, you know, and he should know it. The family should know it. He is blessed by all means.
Just a scary scene there. Will Morris gave the shirt off of his back to stop some bleeding that was coming from Mr. Dobbs and laid there with him until crews got to the scene. Sheriff Cantrell says Dobbs received some head injuries but is expected to be okay. A suspect believed to be involved in a string of burglaries in the New Hope area is tracked down in Yalobusha County. Monday, Yalobusha County deputies arrested Bradley Allen Avant. Lowndes County investigators believe that Avant and Travis Smith are responsible for a number of commercial burglaries committed back in October and November. 3 businesses in the New Hope area as well as the New Hope softball concession stand were hit. Smith was arrested in November. Both men charged with 4 counts of burglary of a commercial building. Lee County Sheriff Jim Johnson says that he wants to make it clear that his department had no involvement with the arrest and release of Tupelo City's attorney on a DUI charge. Ben Logan was arrested by the Mississippi Highway Patrol at a safety checkpoint and charged with DUI refusal the evening of December 7th. Logan was taken to the Lee County Jail but was handed over to a Tupelo police officer and never booked into the jail. Sheriff Johnson says that he wants the public to know that the decision to release Logan did not come from his department. In fact, Johnson says Logan never stepped foot inside the jail because he was released to TPD in the parking lot.
He was never handed over to our staff for him to be incarcerated or booked in. Everything that took place outside, and he never made it inside our jail for us to go through the normal process. So, you know, I just want the public to know whatever happened, the Sheriff's Department had absolutely no part in the process of it.
Sheriff Johnson says had Logan been brought inside the jail, he would have gone through the standard booking process. The sheriff says his jailers take custody of prisoners only when they're brought inside the jail by the arresting officer. Well, time now to toss things over to meteorologist Jacob Riley with the first look at our forecast. And Jacob, the spring-like temperatures, well, they are going away.
Yes, Scott, unfortunately they are going away and kind of getting off of the weather right now. We did have an earthquake earlier today just to the south and east of Greenville. Came in at a magnitude of 3.7 just along the old New Madrid Fault there that runs just along the Mississippi River. We do see them from time to time, but usually they're not that strong. Out there tonight, though, we are a little chilly, currently in the lower 50s, 53 Columbus, 53 West Point, 49 there over in Grenada already, and those temperatures are going to drop about another 10 degrees throughout the overnight hours. We had that cold front pull through yesterday, had a few high-level clouds today. Those have since pushed on out of our area. We will be cold tonight, Scott, dropping down to 38. Our highs aren't going to get out of the 40s for the next couple of days. I'll let you know how long that sticks around coming up later in the show.
In a primetime speech, President Trump sought to convince the country that there's an urgent need for a border wall, urgent enough to keep the government closed. CBS's Natalie Brand has the very latest.
My fellow Americans,
President Trump took to the airwaves Tuesday night to make his case for a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border.
all Americans are hurt by uncontrolled illegal migration.
The president's first Oval Office address comes 2.5 weeks into a partial shutdown of the federal government.
Law enforcement professionals have requested $5.7 billion for a physical barrier. At the request of Democrats, it will be a steel barrier rather than a concrete wall.
In his speech, the president did not declare a national emergency over immigration, but said a crisis has developed at the border.
This is a choice between right and wrong, justice and injustice. This is about whether we fulfill our sacred duty to the American citizens we serve.
The president's address was followed by a response from Democratic leaders. They've said they will not negotiate with the White House until the government has been reopened.
President Trump must stop holding the American people hostage, must stop manufacturing a crisis, and must reopen the government.
We don't govern by temper tantrum. No president should pound the table and demand he gets his way, or else the government shuts down.
The president plans to continue campaigning for a wall with a visit to the southern U.S. border on Thursday. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The president says he plans to meet with Democratic leaders tomorrow to lay out his plans. A Northeast Mississippi high-tech business that does a lot of work for the U.S. government is moving ahead with its contracts in spite of the government shutdown. Riley Martin tells us how they're able to keep working even as other government services are affected.
For the 36 employees at Hyperion Technology Group, the government shutdown has gone largely unnoticed. Hyperion's customer base includes firms in the automotive and medical fields, along with specialized systems for the military. While some government agencies are at a standstill because of the shutdown, Hyperion's government work is not slowing down.
So far, the government shutdown hasn't affected our business at all, since most of our contracts are through the Department of Defense.
The Department of Defense is not impacted by the shutdown. It is fully funded. That is good not only for companies like Hyperion Technology Group, but also for U.S. troops serving overseas. Several years ago, Hyperion engineers worked with the U.S. military to develop the Firefly threat detection system. The sensors are used to detect and pinpoint gunshots from a variety of weapons. It is used extensively overseas to help protect troops, and Carter's team is hard at work on other military projects.
We've got a test coming up later this month. We'll be in Yuma, Arizona, testing a new system, and all of that is still 100% on schedule. None of that has been affected at all.
In fact, business is so good, Hyperion Technology Group will soon move its headquarters to a much larger location, giving it 4 times more space. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
The plant's new Tupelo location should be ready by April.
Well, the cold weather is coming tomorrow. A high of 52. Those winds are going to be making it feel like the upper 40s all day long, though. Sunshine will be back. Those colder temperatures are going to last for the next couple of days. Coming up after the break, I'll let you know just how long they stick around. Stick with us.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Riley.
Well, good Tuesday night. We had a beautiful sunset across the area. Special thanks to Jake Nunnally sitting in this picture here from Enville. Had a beautiful sunset there. We will see a nice sunset tomorrow, but it's going to be cold out there right now. Conditions are clear, currently sitting in the upper 40s there in Oxford, coming in at 48, 53 here in Columbus at the Air Force Base. Those temperatures are only going to go down as we go throughout the rest of the night and the next couple of days. We have no rain to worry about in our neck of the woods of the country. But back to the northeast, they have some rain showers there, and back to the northwest there in Washington and Oregon, they are having another weather system move on in, bringing some mountain snow out there. For Wednesday, it's going to be cold, only topping out at 52 degrees. I have these flowers here to try to make you feel a little bit better because we have some nasty weather moving in. Our high is going to be 52, but those winds are going to be gusty, so it's only going to feel like it's in the 40s all day tomorrow. Here are those wind speeds tomorrow: 17 miles an hour Columbus, a good 15 to 20 miles an hour sustained wind you can expect, with gusts as high as 25, potentially even 30 miles an hour. Those winds are going to last on into Wednesday night, and for the day Thursday too. Not as strong on Thursday, but again, we will still have those gusty winds across our area. But for your Wednesday, we're going to top out here 52 Columbus, 52 Louisville, 51 degrees there in Ackerman. That sunshine will return to our area, sticking around for your Wednesday. It's going to be cold though, 52 Reform, only 48 degrees up there in Hamilton. No rain to worry about tomorrow. You just need to keep your eye on those gusty winds tomorrow. Wind gusts will be out of the northwest here in Tupelo. We'll top out around 50. 49 degrees in New Albany. So another cold day, or the first cold day of many, is in store for our area tomorrow. That sunshine is going to be pretty ample across our area. We do see those clouds starting to form over Texas. That will move our way as we go on into Friday. But as we go throughout the day on Wednesday, topping out here in the 40s for daytime highs. Then as we go into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we're going to get down into the 20s. So some bone-chilling weather is headed our way the next couple of mornings. Here's that weather system coming out of Texas I was just mentioning to you. It's going to pull through our area Friday evening. That's when the rain is going to begin. As we go throughout the day Friday, that rain is only going to get heavier, lasting all throughout the evening hours Friday and Saturday. It's just going to be a downright nasty day there. Highs only in the 40s, rain all day long, and we could pick up a little over an inch. Some locations even seeing more than that before all is said and done with there on Sunday morning. But the next couple of days are going to be cold, Scott, there. Highs sticking in the upper 40s, heavy rain this weekend, and 40s and 50s for next week.
Colleges and universities aren't immune from dangerous situations. When we come back, we look at how they prepare for the worst.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. Universities are like small cities, and just like those small cities, they have to prepare for any emergency that may threaten the safety of students and staff members. Our Cash Matlock spoke with police departments from Mississippi State University and the Mississippi University for Women about what goes into crisis preparation. He joins us live in the studio with what he learned. Cash.
Well, officers from both departments assure me that university campuses all around the country are some of the safest places you can be. And they say communication is key to keeping it that way.
It happened 4 years ago on the Mississippi State campus, and just this past week at MUW. Campus police had to put their training to the test.
We have a crisis action team, so when we do have major incidents that arise, we plan to make sure that we address those situations. We have training scenarios, things like that, so that we're prepared to best handle it.
Mississippi State University Police Chief Vance Rice says communication is vital to ensuring the safety of students and staff in a crisis situation.
It is extremely important to get students, faculty, and staff the information that they need to keep themselves safe as soon as possible.
One way of getting this information out is through text alert systems like MSU's Maroon Alert or MUW's W Alert.
It's important for our students and our university community to make sure they are registered for emergency notifications.
Rice says the initial alert is the most important.
The initial information is likely the best information that's keeping the person safe. And so the additional updates and more information is just that. It doesn't really have anything to do with their safety. It's just they're wanting to know what's going on, and we've got a lot of other things to do, at that moment.
But in this day of social media, people expect a constant stream of updates. Emergency management officials say that's simply not the reality.
I think it's important for people to understand that in an emergency, you're not going to have as much information as you would like, and you're always going to want to know more than what you're being told. But we have to be very careful about information that we share. If we share information that's incorrect, it can not only lead people to the wrong conclusions, but it could also be dangerous.
And at the end of the day, officers are only worried about one thing.
Was the university police department, our primary concern is, of course, the safety of the individuals that are on campus, faculty, staff, students.
Well, Well, emergency management officials on both campuses want to emphasize the importance of signing up for crisis alert messages, as well as just being aware of your surroundings at all times.
Another classic between the Gamecocks and the Bulldogs. It head to OT. Highlights and a recap coming up next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
The Bulldogs starting SEC play on the road. MSU back inside the top 15 for the AP poll. 14th ranked Dogs taking on South Carolina. You know this one's probably going to get weird, and it did. Hugh Weatherspoon in transition early on gets absolutely rejected, but stays with the play, drains the corner triple, has the Dogs up early on. Lamar Peters zipping this one. Easy jam for Abdullah Adu, who gives a man all sorts of money on that one. Lets him know about it. Back and forth ball game early on. Look at Peters go to work. My man doesn't even know where his ankles are at. Drains the triple. Peters off another beautiful down screen. Nothing but nylon. Has the Dogs up by 4. But South Carolina not going anywhere. Unable to get any distance here off the Peters steal. Hugh Weatherspoon, smooth as silk to the glass for 2. Again, Dogs up 5, but South Carolina not going anywhere. Nice feed inside to Chris Silva, who finishes with authority with the left hand. My goodness. Back and forth we go. One more time. Great ball movement from South Carolina. Gets into the hand of Gravette, who drains the wing triple. South Carolina goes into halftime up by 4. This game will get insane in the second half, and of course it would go to overtime, because 5 straight games these teams have played each other. It came down to single digits, 2 of those being overtime, and the Bulldogs lose an absolute heartbreaker on the road, 87-82 to South Carolina. Mississippi State falling to 12-2, 1-1 in the SEC. Eric Holman had a big night, 20 points, 10 boards, 5 blocks, but just not enough as South Carolina qualifies as a quadrant 3 loss. That's an ugly loss for the Bulldogs in terms of a tournament resume, but plenty of time left to get back in it. Bulldogs overcame multiple 5- and 7-point deficits in the second half to force that overtime. We'll have full highlights and recap coming up tomorrow morning on Sunrise. To JUCO basketball, where native Akeem Kirkwood named MAC-JC Player of the Week. The former Choctaw County Charger scored a career-high 23 points in the Indians' win over Gadsden State. Kirkwood also collected 11 rebounds in that one for his 4th double-double of the season. The freshman scored 10 points in a nail-biting loss to Baton Rouge tonight. Let's go to some high school hoops in Hamery. The Panthers hosting Nettleton for some good basketball here. Early on for Nettleton, up to Dedrick Johnson, finds Sean Pounds for the corner triple. Sean has been nothing but money all year long. No difference there, but Amory's turn. Trenton Gillen finds James Spratt. Drives to the hoop, into the land of the Giants, but finishes with the soft touch. Later on for the Panthers, though, Spratt finds wide open Trenton Gillen, takes it to the hole, plus the contact, earns 3 the hard way. Great game in Amory tonight between these two teams. Nettleton trying to answer. Nigel Owens drives to the rim for 2. Amory boys with a huge win tonight over Nettleton, 68-61. And then it'd be the ladies' turn. Amory, Nettleton. Let's run it back early on for the Lady Panthers, up 13. Jatavia Smith finds Kamaya Parks inside. She scores for 2. Amory up big here, but Nettleton trying to claw their way back. Sharnek Mosley finds Maya Hall inside, gets the shot, the friendly roll to go for the 2. Later on for Amory, Madison Wax gets behind the arc. Ooh, a little bit of a step back there. Hey, hand down, man down. Can't give her that much room. She drains the triple, but Nettleton trying to answer. Jalen Rice finds Madison Miller, gets the shot to go, hoop, plus the harm. But Amory cruises to a W over Nettleton, 59-44. National Signing Day remains less than a month away, but shakeup around the Magnolia State involving 2 of the state's top recruits. Louisville 4-star defensive lineman Charles Moore decommits from Mississippi State. The Under Armour All-American has offers from Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, among others. He wasn't the only one, though. Jackson Prep star running back Jarian Ely decommits from Ole Miss. Ely committed in 2017 to play football and baseball for the Rebels. The senior's listed as the 4th best running back in the nation. He's also listed as a projected first-round pick in the upcoming Major League Baseball draft. We'll find out on signing day, February 6th. We'll have the last of your forecast next.
Hundreds of people on hand at the Elvis Presley birthplace and museum to honor the king of rock and roll on what would have been his 84th birthday. Fans toured the attractions, had birthday cake, and heard from Tupelo resident Guy Harris, who grew up with Elvis. The Elvis Presley birthplace and museum is one of the top tourist attractions in the Magnolia State.
He was just like all the rest of the kids around here. As old folks would say, he was poor as Job's turkey, well, we all were, you know, and so that's the way we grew up.
Harris kept in touch with Elvis throughout his life and even saw Elvis when he would visit Tupelo, the Elvis Presley birthplace and museum. Again, is one of the top attractions here in the state. And check this out, the official artwork for the festival honoring Tupelo's most famous son is unveiled finally. The poster for the 2019 Tupelo Elvis Festival has a 1950s theme with the dancing little kid there. See that? With a pink Cadillac and, of course, the Elvis figure posing in front of the car. Tupelo resident Sue Scruggs was chosen as the artist for this year's poster. The 2019 Tupelo Elvis Festival is set to run June 5th through the 9th. Package tickets go on sale the 23rd. Entertainment lineups, the Elvis Tribute Artist Competition, and other events all on hand. They will be announced soon. Jacob, take it away. I'm tired.
I wish this forecast was like June Scott, but it's definitely January. Highs there only in the 40s as we go into this weekend, and it's looking like it's going to stick around that way as we go into next week. Heavy rain possible Friday night and Saturday.
Another rainy day.
Ah, yes.
All right. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.